my late trainer Peter Anthony used to run the Roos Amateur Club. He'd take us all around the Valleys boxing. I'd be sat in the back of the car, and honestly, I used to hope we'd get lost in the car so I didn't have to fight. I'd be so nervous. But then my brother, he'd be next to me asleep, wouldn't care. He'd pull up to the show, he'd just get dressed like that and batter him. Like at a young age, like 10 years of age, he was like not knocking him out, but he'd be stopping him. He'd batter him, the blood all over the place.
When you're there, you're losing 2 fights in a week, and your brother's flying with the Olympics Team GB, and this. What was that like?
Oh, he is, isn't it? He was the better boy. Proud of him. I was proud of him when he was fighting.
This is like a massive lesson in the story of you and Andrew, because how many times we say that the skills can only take you so far.
So far, that's it.
You know, it's
what I lacked in skill, I made up with for hunger and dedication.
Yeah.
There was nobody more hungry and dedicated than me. And I've been in gyms I've been all around the world with fighters, and I haven't seen nobody work as hard as me in the gym.
British, European, world featherweight.
Welsh, Celtic, British, Commonwealth, European, 2 WBC international.
I calm down.
IBF Intercontinental, IBF World Championship.
So
3 final eliminators, 3 mandatory defences for the British title, and fucking 3 mandatory defences against the world title.
Did you get that on camera?
Number 1 challengers.
You got that, yeah? That's Lee Selby.
Yeah.
I welcome you, Lee Selby. Thank you for coming.
Yeah, nice one.
How are you?
I'm good, thank you.
Yeah, it feels like a long time coming, this.
It has been.
It's
I've let you down a few times. I'm sorry.
Yeah, well, we got a public apology. That's the main thing.
Yeah.
No, thank you so much. Honestly, we've wanted this since we started interviewing boxers. Yeah. Of course, we done your brother Andrew last year.
Yeah.
Got to know Andrew a bit as well, and obviously the obvious question was, when can we get Lee on? And so many people have said, I got Lee's number for you, and just swerving. But the main thing is you're not.
I did see the text and all that, but I just wasn't ready to do it. I just blanked on. I'm sorry.
You're a busy guy, aren't you? Do you know what I mean?
There you go. You got the public apology. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's good.
I'm here now. That's all that matters.
Yeah. So how is things, Lee?
All good.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's funny though, because when I was thinking about retirement, I thought I'd have loads of time. I'd put my feet up, smoke my pipe, and a dog by the side, fire lit, but it's nothing like that. I'm just so busy. I don't know where I had the time to train before I retired. Just flat out.
Do you think that's like a mental problem? Like you want to keep busy, or what do you think that is?
It's funny because my dad's the same. He's like 100 miles an hour. He's always in a rush to go nowhere. my girlfriend, that's what my girlfriend's saying. You're turning into your dad. I just can't sit down.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got to be doing something.
And what I see on social media, on TikTok especially,
yeah.
Go and check him out. You doing boxing training yourself, training people yourself?
Yeah, I've been training a few youngsters. Like you said, the TikTok. I did start doing like boxing drills and boxing techniques, but I've
fell off.
Put that in the back burner. But I need to get back on it.
Is that because you're so busy with?
Busy in the gym training fighters.
Yeah. So you're basically still in the boxing world.
Oh, yeah.
You haven't left.
I think that's why I don't miss fighting myself, because I'm in the gym. I'm training people. I'm watching them improve, and then watching them fight and win. I suppose it's the next best thing to do yourself. So I don't really miss it.
Did you ever expect that from yourself? Leaving boxing. Did you ever? Could you ever see yourself becoming a trainer yourself?
It's funny. Once you get that boxing bug, it don't leave you. It's like in your blood.
Yeah. Oh well, mate, it's kind of surreal. We've got. I think you're only our second world champ. No, sorry, we had Steve Robinson as well.
Yeah.
We had Cordina when he
before he was champion.
Before he got it taken off him. But you are one of the well-known, most successful boxers we got on here.
Thank you.
We normally take it back from the beginning.
Yeah.
Andrew told us a lot about your childhood, but we will go back. Like
crazy.
So,
just like any other childhood on a council estate. It's
yeah. Proud baddie boy, obviously. Yeah. Did you always want to be a boxer?
Not really. Like me and my brothers, so I got 2 brothers. my older brother, Michael Slevin, he passed away back in 2008, and my younger brother, Andrew. So as kids, we'd be in the living room, we'd be scrapping like mad. And as soon as my older brother was old enough to go to the gym, he went to the boxing gym. And then I followed suit when I was 8, and then my brother after, and then Andrew after me. But I think it come from my dad. He's like a massive boxing fan, boxing fanatic. And as soon as he was old enough, he sent us down the gym, and that's how he forced us into it. We had no choice.
Yeah, it didn't leave.
No.
There was no other.
And it's funny, as we got a bit older, so Craig Smythe, a local guy from Barry, funny enough, he's my children's godfather now. Him and Bridget, the children's godparents. He bought a minibus out of his own money. He'd pick up all the local boys from the Calcutta and drive us up to Roost to the boxing gym. And it got to a stage, like when we turned like teenagers, we'd be sent to the bus stop to get picked up for the gym, and we go on a mitts, we go on a knock, and then come back and say we've been to the gym. So it was like a chore early on, but then we grew to love it.
It was that, it was that military, that military style.
And it's hard.
Type of thing.
Boxing gyms are hard. But with Craig, he sort of made the training fun. He like sort of like borderline youth club type of thing. But in the gym you do the work, but then you take us out and do stuff. You take us like swimming, camping, and just make it fun so the kids will come back.
Yeah. Blessing, really. Growing up in Barry, and the temptations of kids on any council estate, like you said. Do you think that's what saved your life? Really, is Craig?
I don't think I know it has, definitely.
Yeah,
because my life, it's just been a fine line, and it's so easy to slip off. There's been times when I've slipped off, but luckily I've got back on track, and boxing saved my life. Well, it's changed my life massively.
Yeah. Do you think having your brother there as well doing it kind
definitely.
of helped as well?
Yeah. But he was always the better one, especially like early on.
Glad you said that.
So like teenagers years, he was just strictly dedicated, and that's when I was off bloody smoking weed and drinking, and after bloody some bad stuff.
Yeah.
And then I got to a certain age. It was sort of like around the time when my brother passed away. I had to. It was either make or break, either do something or don't, and I chose boxing again, and it saved my life, changed my life. Financially, physically, mentally, everything. Changed my life completely.
It's crazy how you say that, because we look now at where you are in your life and where Andrew is in his life. That you were the one back then who could have been teetering off the wrong road.
But luckily, I did it early and got everything out my system. As early. And now, as you grow older and mature, you look back and you think, you know what it's like, and you don't want to do that again.
I always say that. I got addicted to drugs quite young. But I'm glad I did it at that age, because now I look back and I worry about my health and age, and I think I've done that, lived that. It's time to knuckle down. With some people who are middle-aged men now, if they got onto drugs, they probably would never get off it, because they said, I've lived my life.
And I know myself, and I got a very addictive personality. Wherever I do, I'm 100%. That's all I think about. And if I started like taking drugs again, or like smoking weed or drinking, that's all I think about, and that's all I do when I become an alcoholic or addicted to drugs. And so I know I can't drink. I can't have a sip of drink of alcohol. I haven't for 14 years. I know I can't control it, so I won't.
You probably had it as well. My mum used to always say, find something good to be addicted to. Find something good to have a routine.
No, but with that addictive personality, I become addicted to training and boxing. I mean, I was in the gym, like, especially like early on in my career, I just lived in the gym. I'd have the key to the gym. I'd be in there for hours on my own, music on, and just work, train.
Yeah,
that's it. And to be the best, that's how you got to be. You got to be what they call in boxing a gym rat, in the gym constantly. And that's how you got to be.
Do you looking back now? Do you think that's the way you dealt with the grief of your brother?
No. When I dealt with the grief of my brother by drinking and taking drugs and just trying to like block it out.
But when you said, like, when that happened, it was like the time of realization.
For a while, and then when I sobered up and come around, and then that's when I.
Oh, so you did fall off a bit when you found out about that.
Massively.
Yeah. So you did just say then that Andrew was always the better one.
Yeah.
Was you always striving to like try and be better than Andrew, or was that not a thing in your head?
No, like he's my brother. I always wished him well, but there'd be times like when we'd spar early on, because I was bigger, I'd do him, and then all of a sudden, like a switch flicked, and I just couldn't do him. He was doing me all the time. Just too fast, too sharp, and just too good, too quick. Just good reactions. And at that time, I think that's when I was like smoking weed and going to the gym. And he was just too sharp for me, as you can imagine.
Was he already on to, his trajectory of going to the Olympics and stuff by this time?
You could see he was just brilliant, just natural. And like at a young age, so it's funny, when we were kids and we'd be driving up, like we go all around the valleys. My late trainer, Peter Anthony, used to run the Roos Amateur Club. He'd take us all around the valleys boxing. I'd be sat in the back of the car, and honestly, I used to hope we'd get lost in the car so I didn't have to fight. I'd be so nervous. But then my brother, he'd be next to me asleep, wouldn't care. He'd pull up to the show, he'd just get dressed like that and batter him. Like at a young age, like 10 years of age, he was like not knocking him out, but he'd be stopping him. He'd batter him with blood all over the place. And they'd be like rough little Welsh social clubs. You'd go in the venue and there'd be a big thick cloud of smoke above the ring. And like all the tappies cheering, all pissed out, all drunk old men, all shouting and jeering. And then my brother's in there scrapping and he's battering kids. And the referee got to jump in and stop it. Mad. Where me, if they had a blanket, I'd be hiding under the blanket in the backseat, scared, yeah.
What age was that?
Get lost. Like, well, we both boxed from like, at our first fights at 10.
Yeah.
So you have to be 10 and where else to fight. So from the age of 10, until bloody 35, I was hoping I get lost on the way to the fight. Honestly. Yeah.
No, but it's that it's such a lesson in
although when you see me walk into the fights, even like the pro fights walking out to my ring music, you think I wouldn't be scared enough to fight anyone.
He's calm.
But that's the only time I switch. In the dressing room, I'm so nervous. And then when the ring walk, it just all goes. And then when I get to the ring, the music stops. And I think, oh man, it's too late to be scared now. Just get on with it.
Get on with it, yeah. This is like a massive lesson in the story of you and Andrew, because how many times we say that the skills can only take you so far.
That's it.
It's
what I lacked in skill, I made up with for hunger and dedication.
Yeah.
There was nobody more hungry and dedicated than me. And I've been in gyms I've been all around the world with fighters, and I haven't seen nobody work as hard as me in the gym.
Really? So when did you want to become a professional boxer? Was it from the moment you went in, or was this just something to better yourself?
It must have been when I was like 21. Like I've been doing all sorts of crap to try and make money, just like little bits of money here and there.
Well, like
you can guess.
Selling dogs.
Selling dogs. But again, like that switch clicked. Yeah. And I wanted to make some proper money, legitimate money. And I met with Chris Saniga. It was at a boxing show in Cardiff. A friend of mine introduced me to him, Robbie Turley. So he was boxing on the show. He had a professional card on in Cardiff, and Robbie Turley was one of the fighters. And I knew Robbie from back in the amateurs. We boxed 6 times, I think. And it's funny, he always argues about the results. So we boxed 6 times. I think I beat him 4 times. We got disqualified in one because we were fighting or something after the bell. And the one time he beat me, his dad was judging, his uncle was refereeing. So we had the decision. But anyway, he introduced me to Chris Saniga. And at the time, I was drinking and I was drunk when I met him. And Saniga sort of like brushed it off. And a couple of weeks later, he rung me, come down to my... that's a funny one. He come down to my... I had like a 1-room like flat in Barry. There's just 1 room, a little kitchen, like all in one, like a little bed sit. I was proud of it. I had nice new carpets, painted the walls myself. I had some nice, like, what you call it, like air fresheners. I was looking forward to him come in. He come in.
A bachelor.
And I remember the clearest day. He looked around, like what's this shit? Oh,
what the fuck is?
Yeah, he said, I remember I used to live like this. And I thought, no. Yeah, honestly, he put it right down on it. Yeah. Anyway, I signed the contract then. I had my first fight. I must have had about £600 against Sid Razak in Newport Leisure Centre, which I got tattooed on me. I've got all my belts tattooed on me and some of my favourite venues. So I got the O2 and Newport Leisure Centre, my first fight. And when I won the world title.
You've got Newport Leisure on there?
Yeah, just a little. I think they're knocking it down soon. Or it might have been knocked down.
No, it's still there, I think. Yeah. The one in the centre, but right by the river, is still there at the moment.
Okay. And I got the O2 Arena when I won the world title. So yeah, I had my first fight against Sid Razak back in 2008. I think I had about £600. And it's hard. You have to sell tickets. You have to... it's difficult starting off. And like when you turn professional, people think you're a professional boxer and you're earning money.
Yeah, perception.
But yeah, it's a perception.
What, if you could just like kind of in a nutshell, kind of talk us of how hard it is to when you're in that amateur game, and you know, what is that world like compared to professional?
The amateur boxing.
Yeah, like just
so for me, like I said earlier, I just box on like the small club shows. I won like a standout amateur. I won in the GB team. I boxed for Wales maybe 3 times. Boxed in the British Championships maybe 2 or 3 I think no, twice. I boxed out in Scotland where I got beat by Paul Appleby, who went on to be a great fighter, a great professional. I think the youngest British champion. And I had a rematch with him back in Wales. So in Scotland, I thought I won the fight, and they give it to him. In Wales, then he come over and done a number on me. And then I boxed a boy, Chris Higgs, in the boys' clubs in Great Britain, who we later on become friends, and he was in my professional gym. Again, it was a bit controversial. I won the fight, and his dad went and got it overruled with the committee, saying I boxed in the senior contest or something.
So this is what I'm saying. Is it kind of
there's
clicky?
There's a lot of politics in amateur boxing.
You mentioned about 4 different dads.
Well, it is.
Yeah.
There's a lot of politics.
Okay.
But like I said, I won the standout amateur. I just boxed on the local club shows. I had around 100 fights. Won maybe 80. It might have been less. It might have been less. Maybe 90 fights, 170, something like that. Lost about 20, 30 fights. But I'd fight anyone, anywhere. And once I remember my dad wound me up with for months. I lost 2 fights in a week once as an amateur. Oh, my dad took the piss right out of me. But then we got my brother. He was a standout amateur, represented Great Britain, boxed all around. He's gone through about 3 or 4 passports where he's been traveling with the boxing, boxed all around the world, and he's won everything.
And what was that like for you? Was you just happy for your brother?
Oh,
so I've always seen you in the corner.
Happy. Oh yeah, happy.
But when you're there, you're losing 2 fights in a week, and your brother's flying with the Olympics team GB and this. What was that like?
Well, it is, isn't it? He was the better boy. Yeah. Proud of him. I was proud of him when he was fighting.
Yeah, it's fascinating, isn't it? It is really. You don't see many brothers, you know, who were like that. What was the reputation you would say you would have within the boxing in the boxing world, and even in the streets and barriers as the Selby brothers back then? Was there like a lot of hope for you guys?
When we was coming up as professionals, it was great. It was a great feeling. Everybody like recognised you. Like we're known for our skills, our boxing ability, and like just normal people from like a council state, a normal upbringing, and like just down to earth. Because a lot of them, when they're boxing on the TV and stuff, it goes to the head, and like, so I'm around my dad a lot, and he's in the gym with me every day. I'm my brother. Yeah. So if we started acting like that, he'd really slap us. He'd
slap you into place,
yeah, straight away. So he kept us in check, because it's easily done, mind. When you win them fights, you're earning money. Everybody's telling you how great you are. You can easily fall for that.
Yeah.
But he was always there to keep us in line.
So if Dad was there as well, was he always one to keep an eye on you financially and stuff? Obviously, I know you said it was quite hard to make money and selling tickets and stuff, but you obviously...
Yeah, so my dad did a lot of the ticket selling for me.
Yeah.
So it's funny, early on, like your friends, and I've spoke to a lot of different pros from the boys in the gym. Like your friends, like they ain't buying the tickets. Yeah, we'll have it next week.
They're expecting you to give it for free.
And like I've seen, I can't remember the quote, but like your biggest fan is someone you don't know.
It's someone you don't know.
It's like people you don't know. Like if my friend was boxing, I'd be there, number one.
Look, I've been guilty of it. Casto's looking in the background because he does me a lot of favours. But no, when it comes to like, I've done it. Oh, my boy's got a baguette shop. He'll sort us out, like especially when I was on drugs. I'm expecting discount or something for free. But this is the thing.
It's the same when I'm selling the tickets. They're expecting freebies, or can I get it a bit cheaper? But what they don't understand is it's run as a business. The promoter don't give me free tickets to sell. The promoter gives me tickets. What I give back,
take a percentage.
I give them back the money, and if there's any tickets missing, I got to pay the money.
Is it?
Yeah. You don't get no free ones. No. You get a few comps for like your sponsors and stuff. That's like at the top level. But like on these small hall shows, you don't get no free tickets. Anything that's missing, when you hand the tickets back, you got to pay. Or it comes out your purse, which ain't a lot anyway.
Yeah. That's mad. So when was it like? So your debut was 08 as a professional, yeah. So when did you start to think like, I've got the potential here to knock it up with the best and become a world champion? Obviously, you won titles before. If you want to talk about them,
it's funny going back to the debut. I remember being in the fight. The guy Sid Razak, he's like what you call a journeyman. So they're like losers. They have like a losing record. They're there for the prospect to like basically get a win and go through the motions. And I was boxing him. I was 21, but he was like a solid, fully grown man. I didn't have no hairs on my legs. He had like hairs in his chest. And like I'm hitting him, and he just kept coming and coming. And I had to think. I remember thinking in my head, "This is what you want. Get on with it." And he was coming and coming, like just trying to wear me down. And it was hard. Although it was my first fight, and I was expected to win, it was difficult.
Yeah, fucking hell.
But I remember just having that pressure of a big, strong man there in front of me. I'm hitting my best shot. His face don't change. He just keeps coming and coming. But that kept me in good stead for like when I step up in class. Each fight gets tougher and tougher, but I still got that big, strong man coming to me with that pressure, and I'm just getting used to it, fight by fight.
Yeah. So even from amateur to professional, do you get journeymen in the amateurs? Then you don't. So it's just a different ball. It's different straight away. Like
it's different, and like 21, that's pretty young. So like I'm fighting as a senior as an amateur, but like they're like kids to compare to the pros.
Yeah. So what was your first title?
The Welsh title.
The Welsh title.
Yeah, I think it was one of my favourite fights as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you want any fond memories about that night?
It's funny because the guy I mentioned earlier, Robbie Turley, who introduced me to my manager. He's a great friend, still a great friend now. I speak to him regular now, and he was scheduled to box the Welsh champion, Di Davis, and I've never told him this, but like when they were boxing, because they were the same weight as me, in my head I wanted the other boy to beat him. I felt so guilty because he's a good friend, but I was thinking to myself, Robbie, if you're watching this, I'm sorry, but he will watch, and I'm sorry, and he'll understand. But I needed the other boy to win for me to get my shot, and Di Davis won. I got my shot, and then I boxed him with the title, and I knocked him out in 2 rounds. I got that tattooed on me as well.
So it's like that tight then back then as well, even in the Welsh boxing, like you have to rely on this guy to win together.
That's it, yeah.
And
we were all with the same management as well, same promoter, same management.
It's a bit tough in the same camp.
And if Robbie Turley won the fight, he'd have the Welsh title. I'd never have a shot until he lost. So subconsciously, I was thinking, "Oh, please lose," but I was so guilty about it. I felt terrible.
Has your brother, because you went through different routes? Yeah. Has your brother ever been a Welsh champion then?
No.
Because he's gone through the
just through the GB setup. Like a lot of the better amateurs, they sort of like the Welsh titles, like sort of like frowned upon.
But this is what. Although
it's great because they're like great learning fights. Like I learned a lot in that.
Yeah, and I'm glad you're proud of that because like we had Jacob Robinson on who became Welsh champion.
He won and same belt featherweight as well.
Yeah, like and he's obviously been struggling to get through that, but like his dad, he became a world champion. I'm sure he was Welsh champion.
Well. Same weight.
We have got world champions who have come through from Welsh champions, so it is a proud thing to have. Like it's not just Mickey Mouse belt.
I remember I won the belt straight down into Barry in one of the clubs. I had it around my waist.
Yeah, that's standard, mate.
That's buzzing.
Yeah,
wicked.
Same with the I'll tell you the belt I love is the European belt. I don't know why, I just love the look of it.
Yeah, I got all the belts tattooed on me. It's a difficult belt to win as well, the European. Yeah. So like you got all these like little belts like the WBO European and all that stuff, and they're calling themselves European champions, but it's
because they look the same belt though sometimes, don't they?
But it's they're a million miles apart. A proper European EBU belt is difficult to win.
Yeah, that's the one that you had, the blue one with the gold chains and stuff.
Yeah,
beautiful belt there. So when you became European champion, did you kind of see, like, did you have the belief that you could become a world champion one day?
But it's funny, as a kid, like 10 years of age, I thought I'd be a world champion.
Did you?
And like you laugh, it's mad. Like in school, I'd be sat in school like doing work, and I think, I don't need to do this. I'm gonna be a champion. I don't have loads of money. I don't need to be doing this. But like I didn't tell no one. They'd think I was that. But like I was the only one that thought I'd be champion. I just knew.
I was going to say a question then about, we had Scott Quinnell on the other day and we were talking about professionals who, when they leave, what do they do after that? Yeah. Obviously, some people spunk their money as a professional. They're left with nothing. I think you're more wise, switched on and stuff.
Yeah.
But
So I gotta go. Sorry to
Go on.
interrupt. So I go back. So like from that council estate upbringing, we had no money as kids, me and my brother. So and the same with a lot of fighters, and a lot of fighters do the same thing. You either go one way or the other. My mentality was I've never had money. I got money. I don't want to lose it. I know what it's like not to have it. So I invested it. Where like my brother never had money. Oh, that is great. Let's spend it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And a lot of fighters, top fighters do it. Same thing.
But now, so would you confidently say that you didn't have an education then at all?
No, great. Well, I'm not stupid. Like I'm educated.
Yeah.
But like,
what I'm saying is now, imagine if you come out of boxing.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, you got your money and stuff.
oh,
yeah.
with no money and no education.
Yeah, like would you feel like?
Yeah, it's difficult. So you need something to fall back on as a professional.
Not
athlete.
everyone's Elite Selby,
as a
you know?
professional athlete. Well, there's only ever been 13 world champions from Wales. So
Exactly.
It's difficult, and to make money through boxing, you got to be very good. You got to be at the top. Like the lower level, they don't make no money. There's no money.
And even probably for your mental health as well. Like even if you have got a bit of money, but you want to do something else after boxing, you've got to be.
You got to keep busy.
Yeah,
I think.
So, what year? 2015 was the year
World title.
you became world title.
Yeah.
Do you remember that whole day?
I'll tell you what stands out. My dad hugged me the first time since I was born after I won the fight. Yeah. I can't remember ever hugging me. And after the fight, he come over and gave me a hug.
So the relationship with your old man and stuff, although he was there and he made sure you done something positive, it was always tough love, was it?
Yeah.
And how did that feel when he gave you a hug?
A rarity.
A rarity, yeah? Yeah, fucking hell.
But winning that title, man. And it's funny. So like it's not actually being champion. Like looking back now, it's not actually being the champion that like sort of that made me. It's like the run up to it, the chase. That's the buzz. The chase. Once you win the title, it's all gone. It's weird. But that run, like winning the Welsh, Celtic, British, all them with that goal of being world champion, winning the British titles, the defence.
It's the journey.
The journey. That's it. The journey. That's
Not
better
about,
than winning.
Not about the destination, is it?
No. It's mad.
Yeah.
And I tell that to anybody. It's the journey, definitely.
Yeah, well, fucking
Amazing.
for your brother to be the one who was, he's the kid, he's gonna tip for it, and then for you to come another route and actually get it.
Like I said earlier, like if you're not a standout amateur and you start on I started on the small hall shows with no TV, no money, no backing, to work your way up to become world champion. It's like it don't happen often.
Yeah,
I can't think of many British fighters who's done it. I can't think of one off the top of my head. It's difficult to do.
Yeah. Financially, what was your quality of life as soon as you became champion? Did it change? Is that a facade? Like, is that not true?
Sort of, yeah, sort of. But again, I was just my lifestyle didn't change. Like I don't buy like flashy clothes. I don't buy.
So you didn't know?
I got decent car, got a nice home and all that. But I'm not like a flashy type of person. And I was always in the gym still.
Yeah.
It's always working.
As people, especially like in films and stuff, I suppose the way when they win titles,
like the Rocky movies.
Yeah, you go and celebrate, innit? Like what would you do to celebrate? What did you do to celebrate?
I tell you, when I won the world title, all right, I went home on a megabus.
Yeah.
That's how I went home. No limousine. I went home on a megabus with my girlfriend and a friend.
Proper humble.
So it is.
Yeah. How many times did you defend that title?
5 times, and against 3 mandatories. And it's the same going back to the British title. I won that, and so the British title, it costs a lot of money for the British Boxing Board to make. So they don't want to hand them out like willy-nilly. They want to make you earn them. So I had 3. So originally you have to win the belt and defend it 3 times, and one of them got to be a mandatory. But when I won the belt, they gave me 3 mandatories. So the mandatory challenger is the number 1 contender. So I had the number 1 contender 3 times in Britain, and then on the world title, I had the number 1 contender, the best fighter in the world, 3 times again. So it was
the
difficult.
Journey again, isn't it?
Yeah, difficult.
It's not just
I didn't have nothing given.
You're not just defending it to some,
No. The number 1 in Britain 3 times, the number 1 in the world 3 times.
Yeah.
takes some doing.
You've got to be proud of that.
Yeah.
And where was Andrew in this time of his? Was he still boxing?
Yeah, he was boxing. When I was British champion, he was in the GB team still, and then world champion, he come out. He was there for the world title, obviously. My first defence, we flew out to Phoenix, Arizona. I defended the title out there against like a freeweight world champion, Fernando Montiel, who was very good. And before that, we spent a bit of time in LA, me and my brother, on a training camp, then flew out to Arizona.
So you always trained together then?
Yeah.
So what was it like? Did it affect you in any way when your brother kind of fell out of love with boxing?
Oh, yeah.
What was the effect for you as a professional?
Not so much the boxing, just as a person. Because like, it's not just falling out of the boxing; it's what he's doing whilst he's falling off. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm saying good.
But that didn't affect you at all. As a person, yeah, as a family member, yeah. But like, I mean, did that affect you as a boxer as well?
I don't want to say too much about Andrew, what he was doing, because it's not for me to say.
Yeah,
like, I don't want him thinking, he's talking about me on the camera and stuff. But like, there's been times that I'm there out defending a world title, and I'm getting phone calls about my brother saying he's done this and done that, which is like a lot of pressure on me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
A few fights has been like when I got to worry what he's doing. Although I don't tell him I worry about him. He just, but I do, massively.
The Josh Warrington fight came. was where was he when that happened? Was he about?
No.
Can you talk us through that fight? Obviously, it's
Well, the fight or the build up or both?
No, let's go from the build up because
so the build up. I was told like the Leeds crowd is going to be very hostile. So I like worked myself. Come on, let's have it. And I was. It's funny. So my trainer Billy Reynolds, he's like a tough guy. He's my trainer. He said I'm in training for it. He's been training. He's ready. No, honestly, he was ready for the fight. He wanted the fight, and so was I. I was ready. And when I got there, I was a bit disappointed, to be honest. I went to the public workout, and like they were all cheering for me. There was loads of Asian boys. They all come up, photos and all that. Yeah, he's I see you next Tuesday. He is, the Warrington. But I had loads of fans there. But I remember I was in the public workout. I was having photos, and someone called me. I looked up, and some kid spat at me, one of my eyes.
No.
Yeah. But other than that, and there's a couple of little football hooligans pretending to like throw something at me and just.
Yeah, you can tell when they're a footy lad as well. It kicked off over Tenerife with Leeds.
Yeah.
They were all Leeds lads. They're always fuckers, aren't they?
Yeah. And then we went to the weigh-in. I made weight, which was very, very difficult. It killed me. It killed me.
Yeah.
I've almost died making weight a few times.
Can you talk to the people who are probably not clued up with the boxing, like how hard it is to make weight?
So depending on the weight class, like some fighters are more close to the weight, more natural. Where I was a giant for the featherweight division, and I had to boil right down. So like just months of hard training on the lowest calories. Like fight week, I'd be on about 1,000 calories. It'd last me all week. Like that's like half a day's worth of calories. Literally dying. It got to a point where I'd have two plates of food. I'd have my girlfriend make me a plate of normal food, and then I'd have a plate like of salad and lettuce leaves. I'd chew up the normal food, spit it out, and eat the lettuce leaves. That'd be like for
just to taste it or something.
Yeah, just to trick myself into eating, and I'd just fill my stomach with the salad leaves. It almost killed me a few times, and it was bad. Well, one of the worst times was back in 2012. So that was quite early in my in my featherweight career. Yeah, I was defending the title against Martin Lindsay out in Belfast, and I remember lying in bed the night before the weigh-in, literally drained the life out of me. And I was lying there, I was thinking, like, I'm going to die. If I don't make it to the morning, or if I make it to the morning, I have to move up and wait till I'm retiring. I have to pack in. And I looked to the side, my bathroom door in the hotel was open. I could see the tap. Yeah, I was just too disciplined to go out there and have a drink. And I was literally on death's door. But then the next day I rehydrated. I weighed in 8 stone 13, rehydrated to 10 stone 8. And it was one of the best performances I've done in my career.
And you've got to train through all this as well, then.
Yeah.
And where did you get the energy deposits?
Just the mental strength I had to show through boxing. is crazy. And talking about the mental strength, I was defending my world title. I think it was, I can't remember, it was the second or third time. I've been the third time in Wembley, and I was lying in bed making weight again. And I had a phone call early hours in the morning. They woke me up. It was my mum, my sister, and my brother telling me my mum's passed away out of the blue. And again, the mental strength I had to show then to carry on with the fight. Unbelievable looking back now. People pull out now if their bloody cat's died and my mother's died a couple of days before the fight. On the Wednesday before the fight, I was fighting on the Saturday. So I had to keep it all together. And I told my team just don't mention it. And I just made out it didn't happen. I boxed, went back to the dressing room, and just let it all out there.
It's probably a stupid question, but what was going through your mind through all this?
I just had to just focus on the fight. My team come to me like in the morning after my brother had phoned me, my sister. They said, "We understand if you want to pull out." I said, "Just don't mention it." That's it. I said, "Don't mention it. Close the door." That's it.
That's heavy.
But looking back, it took some doing.
Yeah, I think that's what a lot of people talk about when they. One of the first things that comes to mind when they say Lee Selby is how professional you are. You know, such an example for so many.
I tried to do that, and I know, like I see some boxers that like champions, they're shouting and swearing. I can't recall an interview that I've sworn in. I think I might have swore once today, but I'm retired now, so it don't matter. But especially as champion, I know there's youngsters from not just from the town, but all around the world watching these interviews on the IFL TV and stuff. So you got to conduct yourself correct. You got to be a professional, like you're a world champion. Everybody looks up to, especially the youngsters. You got to set a good example.
What do you know about Wales' #1 rated security provider, Boss Security? Boss Security Limited are a professional security service provider based in South Wales, but servicing clients on a national scale. With over 10 years of experience in the security industry, they are true experts in all aspects of security. From CCTV monitoring, manned guards, mobile patrols, and alarm response, they provide the most advanced technology on the market, along with an expert team of staff delivering complete security solution to their clients throughout the UK. So why don't you stay secure, stay central, and choose Boss Security?
Do you need a work uniform? Want to start a clothing brand? Or maybe you have a football kit that needs a logo printed? Well, if I was you, I'd get in touch with the Re-Inspire Printing Company down Treforest Industrial Estate for the finest printing and embroidery in Wales. I use them for my custom-made mankini, but you could use them for t-shirts, hats, hoodies, and many, many other things.
So would you say that, like, some of the boxers, without saying names, this day and age, it's bad, yeah?
Swearing, shouting, fighting at press conferences, you know? Like I'm old school, so like years ago, you'd see like all the great old fighters, they didn't really speak up in press conferences. They really had press conferences. They'd shake hands before the fight, have a fight, and shake hands afterwards. You know?
Yeah.
The promoters did all the talking, and that's how it should be.
Yeah. I'm still quite taken back by all what you was just saying then about, you know, with your mother and stuff, and also cutting weight. There's one thing that I thought about is it must be harder as well when you're actually champion.
Yeah.
And you're having to cut weight because you don't want to lose that title, do you?
No, you don't want to lose the title.
Yeah.
And then that was one of the reasons why I did eventually lose the title was down to weight. Well, partly down to weight. You know, it like I said, that journey leading up to winning the world title, you finally got your goal. Like nobody gave me no opportunities on the way up. Nobody gave me an opportunity when I had the title. So the last thing I wanted to do was vacate the belt because I couldn't make, because I was struggling with the weight, and hope I'd get another opportunity because I know I wouldn't have. So I just had to fight until I couldn't fight no more and lose in there.
Yeah, thank you for that, bro. So yeah, sorry, we'll go back because we did go off on a tangent. So you know, Warrington, you're making weight.
Yeah.
What happened?
We was at the weigh-in, yeah. So
before I said, can you talk about that?
So I made weight and got back in the van, and a couple of boys started like kicking the van, like trying to shake the van, kicking the tires, calling me this, calling me that. And they were lucky that the van didn't stop because the guys in the van would have just destroyed them all. They were useless, honestly.
They don't even know. Look.
As a group, they're okay. Well, they're probably not even okay. They just shout and giving it a big gun. But the guys in the van and the people I had up with me would have gone for more. At the weigh-in, at the fight, it was obviously doing it.
Yeah, you had some heavy boys
in
the van then, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay then, and then fight night came. What was it like stepping into the arena?
Again, I was expecting like real hostility. I got myself ready for. I wanted bottles for.
I think the media portrayed it like that as well.
So like I wanted. I just remember Marvin Hagler box over.
Yeah.
Throwing bottles and all that. I think did he box that in a minute? I can't remember he boxed, but they were throwing bottles and all that. I was expecting some of that, and I wanted it. And I come out, and it was like they walked me around some back entrance. I couldn't even see no people. I had some two big fat lady body guys covering me. I felt like just get off me, let me walk. Yeah. But I didn't even see no people go in the ring, and then I could just see the ringside. Couldn't really. Oh. Yeah. I was disappointed. I wanted some hostility. It gets me up for it. Like I boxed out in Belfast, they were hostile there.
Really?
But like they're boxing fans, but they was hostile. I boxed beautifully. When I finished, they would give the result. They give me a standing ovation, or they clap me out the ring.
Yeah, that's the way, isn't it?
Wicked.
You know that's the way it should be.
Yeah.
But there's one thing as well. I'd say fair play to you because some people could. That ain't the reason you got beat, but some people could use that as an excuse. Like, you know, you never. So
I don't say nothing.
So talk me for the fight then, bro.
So I knew. It's funny because you're a fighter say it, but I knew from the first punch I wasn't gonna win. I just threw it and it just weren't there, just laboured. I have some days you have them in the gym when you're sparring, you just not on form. I threw the shot. And he was at the best he could be, and I wouldn't say the worst I could be because I could have been worse because it was still a competitive fight. I was at my sort of lowest. He was at his highest, and it was sort of like a crossover fight. And he beat me, but I knew from the first punch it wasn't there, and I got cut early on. Like he used the head. I got cut over one eye. One eye, and then the referee wanted to stop the fight, but not the referee, the doctor wanted to stop the fight, but my manager Chris Sanigas thought I was having a good round. He thought I was going to come back into it because he got all the faith of the world of me. We've been all around the world sparring in the best gyms against the best fighters, and he seen me at my best. So he had the faith of me. But looking back, he should have let the doctor stop the fight because it would have been a no contest. I think it was the third round. I would have kept the belt. I would have got paid. And I could have vacated afterwards.
So how many rounds is it going to be to be no contest?
I think 3. Yeah, I think so, yeah. But I think it was the third round. And then again, I got cut over the other eye. And there was stages in the fight where honestly I couldn't see. All I could see was like a silhouette of him, like the blood in my eyes. And the only thing I can describe her as is like, like when you're playing a PlayStation game or something and you shoot someone, the blood goes on the screen. It's like that, honestly. That's what my eyes were like. I could see a silhouette of him, a silhouette of the referee. Couldn't see the ringside. And of course, as a fighter, it was funny. You hear people saying like footballers, they're playing football, they're pretending to be hurt. A fighter's are hurt, and they're pretending to not be hurt.
Yeah, it's mad.
So there's all blood in my eyes, and I know if I start wiping my eyes,
he knows. Well, he's struggling.
If he was wiping his eyes, he had blood, and I might attack him straight away. So I know he's going to do the same. So I just got to keep a straight face, try and fucking blink the blood out my eyes.
It's hard as well.
And just get on with the job.
I've been split there.
Yeah,
and the it dries.
It's not
quick.
good.
It dries quick.
Yeah,
it's
hard.
Not good. It's hard to see, mate. And when you got gloves on,
it's not good.
Must be fucking tough.
And then you get a punch in the eyes, and they just open up. There's been a few fights, all head clashes that I've had.
Yeah, I've seen.
Yeah.
Well, I put the winner.
that one, and I won that fight. It looked like I just been hit with a bat.
Yeah. Fuck. You look like a Neanderthal. You know when you're like
it's
the
bad,
heavy eyes and that, innit?
So as I get older, you see ex-fighters, their eyebrows are sagging, and I'll end up like that, don't I?
Yeah, Clayton got bad eyebrows, I
mean. Yeah. I think with age, I think it just sags.
Yeah.
All the fights.
What do you think of Josh Wallington?
As a person, or as a fighter?
Both, I would say.
As a fighter, he's very effective because he has a high work rate. I think he's more natural at the weight as well. 'Cause he's only small, fast hands, and he's sort of just like there's no like class in his shots. Like you see, like the Mayweather stuff, they boom turning the shots over nice and classy. He's just like sort of erratic and throwing loads of shots and overwhelms them, but it's effective. You got an effective style.
As a person, did you get on with him? No, was it
Leading up to the fights? No. Well, you would have seen him in the build-up.
Yeah.
And I see on the social media a lot of people say the same sort of thing. Or as a person, like that could just be for the media.
Yeah.
He could be he could be a nice guy outside.
So you haven't really had that?
No. He wished when I retired, he wished me well. So.
Oh, fair play. That's nice. So what was that like taking that loss? You know, first, it's, you know, you've had defeats in your professional career, but this is the title, world title.
To be honest, it's funny because I lost, but like because you're like earning loads of money as well, you're still winning. Like I've never had no money as a kid, and like they give me loads like bloody life-changing money, and I've lost. So it's funny. It's like sort of a mixed emotions. Do you be happy because you got the money, or do you?
I love that honesty.
It's
though.
weird, isn't it?
I love that.
So you don't know how to feel for the bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was it a sudden realization when you realized I'm not the champ no more?
I think not really. I think once you're the champion, you're always
You're always a champ.
yeah. Once you're a world champion, you're always a champion.
Yeah.
And I remember my manager's son. Well, he was my manager as well, like joint manager, Jamie Senegal. I remember I won the world title. I went in the dressing room, and he looked at me and said, "Right, your life's going to change forever. Your life's never going to be the same again." And I thought, what are you going on? What are you saying that for? And then now I know what he meant. Yeah.
Well, it's everything in it, you know. Yeah.
And thinking back now in that dressing room before the fight, you can see it. There's a documentary, and you see a little clip of her there. Chris Saniga, like we've been all around the world leading up to that, like sparring all around the world against the best fighters. And he come over to me in the dressing room just before I'm about to go out. He said, "There'd be no one." What was his words? It was along the lines of, "There'd be no one who I'd rather go into battle with than you." And like the emotion and the way he said it, like sort of like tears in his eyes. Oh, just give me goosebumps, and I was on. That's it. Let's go. Wicked.
What was Andrew's reception to you becoming champion? And
Oh, wicked.
Yeah.
Couldn't
ask for a better brother, like. Yeah.
And I remember one of the best days of my life. So when I come back to Barry, they did an open top bus for me. So me and my team were on there.
Yeah.
The feeling, it was amazing.
Amazing.
But it's funny. So we go on the bus, and I thought, are people going to come out now? Like, how are they going to know that I'm doing an open top bus? Open top bus tour around the town. And then we started driving. And I seen there was like the odd couple of people scattered about. There's like 2 people there. And further down the road, and 2 people by the shop, like cheering. And I thought, yeah, that's right. And we turned into the town, and it just roared. There was thousands of people there just roaring. I was buzzing. I look back at my manager, and he gets emotional, and he was like so proud of me. I look back, all tears running on his face, and just the feeling it gave me, amazing. It's one of the best days of my life.
He should have done
Emotional.
that. That's what Joe Cordina should have had as well.
I know. I did see they did something, but just like a small thing.
Yeah.
But like to be a world champion, of all the people that tried to be a boxer, and to be the champion of the whole world.
Well, if you when Cordina was going for that title fight, and they had like the 13 or 12 world Welsh champions, and you was on there.
Oh, it's good.
How did that feel to be part of that? Like,
amazing.
You know,
Amazing.
You're a great, like you're
amazing.
Yeah.
Along the like Kawasaki and all that.
Yeah, man.
Amazing.
The bounce back then. So you went straight into the gym from that then, did you? Just after that defeat, was you straight back in? Did you have a rest? Like what?
I had a bit of a rest. I remember Brendan Lyons, the security.
Shout out to Brendan.
He's
a good guy, isn't he?
Yeah. He come to my house with his wife was making cheesecakes at the time.
Oh, banging.
He knew I liked the cheesecakes. Come to my house, brought me a nice cheesecake. I had a few weeks rest, and then just back to it. That's just all I knew. Just training.
Yeah, fuck it. And you went over.
And I remember I remember early on in my career, I had that first loss. I could have retired then. I wanted to retire. But then as soon as you get another win, it's forgot about. You forget about a lot.
So yeah, obviously you had a couple more wins after the Warrington. Did you want to go back for the title? Was it?
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
I wanted to be Wales' first 2-time world champion. Two weight world champion, sorry. I know Robbie Regan, I think he won an interim belt.
Yeah, I thought Robbie won them twice.
He's a good friend of mine as well, Robbie.
Yeah, he was meant to come on you, Robbie. He's,
he got a story, man.
Yeah, I know. He's had his struggles, haven't he?
Yeah. But he won a world title and then he won an interim title at a different weight. But I was aiming to be Wales' first 2-weight world champion.
And that was going up.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what was it like then, from trying to cut weight? Was it still hard?
Still very difficult. And looking back, I should have done it way earlier. After my first defence, my defence wasn't great. So I should have moved up after that, looking back. But it's funny, all my defences, there was always something going on in the background. Like the first one, we put it down to like travelling away. And while I was over there, a good friend of mine died a couple of days before the race.
It's mad, isn't it?
Darren Bray, Dopey Darren. He passed away. So we sort of put the performance down to that and the travelling and all that stuff. And then the next fight, there was always something there. So, yeah.
Do you genuinely think then if you was that higher weight along,
if
before,
I
you
did
think
it
you would
earlier,
have been world champion at that, do you?
I would. So in the gym, on my natural weight, I'm like known as a puncher in my gym. I spar people, I hurt them all the time. But then in the fights, I'm known as a non-puncher. And like when I've travelled around sparring, not close to my fight weight. So like I travel around the UK close to my fight weight and then spar, and I was still didn't have that strength. But like I go to America on my natural weight, like 10.5 stone, 11 stone, and spar with these boys. I was doing them all, like top fighters. I've been in the ring with like the best in the world, and I barely lose around. So if I could box in my natural weight, I'd have been much better. But then the opponents, they're coming down again, and they'd just be giants. So
yeah, like well, I think that's what
it's difficult. It's like a catch-22.
I think it was the Cambosos fight. I think I was watching one of them, and he'd be like, "Yeah, but Lee's gone up a weight." Yeah, like we were trying to find excuses.
That's why I got off track, and that's why I say him. Where I left it so late to move up in weight. I didn't benefit from it. I don't think. I think the damage was done at making that lower weight for so long that I didn't benefit from it.
I think that's where the respect got to come, and that's where people got to, You went up a weight, and it's always a challenge.
Well, 2 weights I jumped. I jumped the
two, was it?
Yeah, I jumped the first weight because I was struggling so bad. I didn't think. Well, I know I wouldn't have. The 4 pounds wouldn't have benefited me because like before the weigh-in, like I'd lose the 4 pounds on the day of the weigh-in. Yeah.
Fuck.
And like my mentality, I just keep a straight face. I wouldn't tell my trainer. My trainers didn't know I was struggling, and my manager, they guessed it, but I wouldn't tell them. How would you feel? Okay, yeah. Making the weight was a fight. I'd just keep a straight face. I wouldn't tell no one. Just get on with it. Yeah. Although I'd be in my room, like I'd be training in my room. So like to make the weight, I'd train in the gym with my team and all that. But before that, I'd be in my room training. I'd be in the hot baths, like trying to sweat the weight out. I wouldn't tell them. It was just me. I just had to get on. That's part of the fight to make the weight.
Yeah. That's
the first fight. Once I've made that weight by any means possible, I've won the first fight.
Yeah. I remember watching that George Cambosos fight in my house with my old man and stuff. I in my eyes, I think bad decision making by the referees. I think
during the fight, I thought I was winning, and to be honest, I thought it was easy. It was one of the easiest fights I've had.
You're watching it backwards, yeah.
I'm watching, but I don't watch them. No. But during the fight, I thought it was one of the easiest fights I was having. The corners thought it was easy. Just to keep boxing behind the jab. That's what I did. Didn't want to complicate things and start throwing all combinations. Just kept it basic, and I thought I did enough to win.
So you're still at that decision.
Yeah. And it's funny, after these big world title fights, sometimes I can't get out of bed. Or when I get out of bed, every muscle on my body hurts. And I think that might be down to making the weight, being drained, and the punches, and the work in the fight. But after that fight, I got just fresh as a daisy, on a mark on my face. Didn't even feel like I had a fight. Yeah.
You just said then you didn't watch your back. Do you watch any of your fights back? Just the
some
ones you win?
No, some of them.
Just the ones I win, innit?
Some of them.
Yeah, you haven't watched that back, no?
No, really. To be honest, I don't watch much boxing now. Because like with social media and Instagram and all that, they just put the highlights up and that does it. You see the best parts. I've watched like highlights of my fight.
Yeah, but you don't enjoy that? You don't enjoy going to a boxing event? And I know you're
I like going to the events.
You don't like watching a live fight?
I like watching the live fights, yeah. But like on like the TV, I don't really rewatch them back. Like.
So what's he like, George Cambosis? I got to talk about him because he seems to me like he's a bit of a,
Well, so he is.
you know, like.
But I sparred him earlier on in my career. It must have been, I think I was world champion. It might have been like 2016, 2017. I sparred him in a wild card. Done him easy.
Yeah, he was
Again, am I
really.
natural weight again? Done him easy. It was like one-sided. Yeah.
Yeah, when I watched it, he was mouthing fuck out of you before that fight.
And then
weren't he?
after the fight, he came in the changing rooms. He said, "Oh, I can't remember what did he say. I can't remember what happened in the sparring. That was the first week." I said, "I'll come back. I can remember."
Is that what he said? Yeah, he made out like he couldn't remember.
I can't remember. Yeah, but I don't. Again, sort of like Warrington, they seem how they seem the build up to the fights and during the fight, but they could be nice characters. Outside, yeah.
Well,
I know they both got families, and like most family men are like decent people. So
yeah, he's you know he's had.
And he done
some great
very
fights.
well. Again, like Warrington, he went on to beat Frampton, and had some great fights. And same as him, he went on to beat Teofimo Lopez, who was like
Great
one of the
fight.
best at the time in a great fight, and then went and boxed Devin Haney twice.
I think
So they both done great.
Well, this is again, it's like that justification. No, you don't have
Yeah,
to justify
my
anything.
losses don't look as bad,
But they don't look as bad, yeah.
Like you said earlier, if Warrington when he got knocked out by Frampton,
Hammered,
and Cambosis got knocked out
You're
by
gonna be questioning
Lopez, you'd think, he got beat by two mugs.
Yeah, no, definitely not, mate. Thank God, innit? But and then that was you had one. Was it one more fight after that? It was the eliminator then, weren't it?
So against George Cambosis, that was the final limiter for the world title, and because it was like sort of controversial.
You felt like you wanted to have another.
Yeah,
go.
so the two different TV networks. So the Zone, they had me winning wide with Andy Lee commentating, who's a former world champion himself and knows the sport inside out. And then you had Sky Sports commentating, and they had me losing wide.
Well, so if the two networks, even though the decision's made in the ring, if these other networks are thinking, you can come to some sort of agreement to have another shot.
Well,
Is that what it is?
No, you can put in an appeal to the boxing, to the governing body. So it was the IBF. So we were going to put in an appeal, but we just we did like the beginning of the appeal. Before that, they ordered another final eliminator for me. So that was my
make a
second chance.
difference. These people making decisions and judging and that.
Yeah. But with the appeal, I think you're going to pay a substantial amount of money just to put in an appeal that can get knocked back.
And how was you as in your mind? Where was you in your career?
So in my mind and in my career, first of all, in my mind, I wasn't beat up about the loss, and that sort of
Really
told me about where I was in my career. I didn't have that thing. No, like I was still talking to people. Whereas my early fight, when I lost my first fight, no one's seen it. No one on TV or nothing. But I couldn't face no one. I was locked up in my house. Wouldn't go out or nothing. And again with the Warrington one, I was okay. And then Cambosis, it was just like, lost a fight, and that's when I knew I was sort of done. Yeah. But then they come back with another final eliminator, and I thought, I can't turn down this chance. It was rubbish money. So went to purse bids. The Argentinians won it for rubbish money. It was like £60,000, and then I had to tell myself when I started off what would I have done, and I would have run to Argentina for £60,000. I'd have run there. I would have made my own way there for 60 grand.
So what do you think happened in that last fight? It was just down to the hunger and stuff, would you say?
Age.
Yeah, it's a big one.
Age, I think that's it. So when I boxed Cambosis, he might have been about 6 or 7 years younger than me. And then when I boxed the next kid who was young, hungry, big puncher, he was 10 years younger than me. 10 years in anything.
Yeah, he did. Do you know what? I looking back at the Cambosis one as well, he did look very energetic, didn't he, compared to you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's what made the difference. Because I know for a fact, if I was their ages when I boxed them, I'd have beaten both. I wouldn't be surprised if I'd done them in the same night. No, honestly.
Yeah?
I think I could have done them both in the same night.
Fucking hell.
Because I was a shadow of myself in them fights. No.
If there's one lesson that, like, you know, your career has taught you, what would that be?
Say that again.
If there's one lesson that your boxing career has taught you, what would that be?
Hard work pays off.
Yeah.
And no matter what you do, whether you're a professional athlete, whether you're in school working, no matter what you do, hard work pays off. And what my daughter always keeps reminding me, that practice makes progress. And the harder you train, well, the harder I trained, the luckier I got. And the harder you train, the luckier you get.
I got some questions here, just a couple. And the first one is, what happened in that hotel room in America with Jordan Withers?
I wouldn't let Jordan down like that, man.
Yeah.
Not if everyone watching, I couldn't say that. I don't have to pass on that one.
Fair play.
No, have to pass.
He's
my mate.
I had to put it on. People have asked.
He's a strange one, but he's my mate. So
what was it? What was it about then? Right, roughly.
No comment.
Is it bad? Is it good? Is it embarrassing?
Embarrassing and bad for him. That's it.
And what? It was just something he done, or is it something?
We'll just next question.
Okay. Gotta try, haven't you?
I can't tell you.
How have you kept so calm and professional? We've already spoke this, but I'll go over it again. How have you kept so calm and professional coming home from camps with daily temptations and through all the grief?
I don't know. I just I just dedicated my life to boxing, and I said there was no exceptions. Until I had my children, boxing come first in my life. That's all I thought about. I'd be going to sleep thinking about boxing, and like my girlfriend says, I'm asleep, like close to fights. I'm waking her up, punching, shadow boxing in my sleep. Like that. That's I just dedicated my life to it. That's all I thought about. That's all I did.
Yeah,
and that it just come under. That was part of the parcel.
This ain't a question. This is a statement that we kind of knew anyway, but we wanted to have like your verification. Yeah. And it's from Clayton Smith, who says that you Google your chess moves.
He's rubbish. No, he's not rubbish. He's average. But it does them every time.
But do you Google your chess moves?
I don't need to. No, I don't know. So we played about 20 games. I think it's about 18-2 to me.
Really?
But it's funny, the one game he did...
He must have clocked you once.
No, the one game we did play...
Moves.
No, I don't need to. The one game we did play, I said, I'll play you for money. And he beat me, he did. But he wouldn't take the money. I said, all right, double or quits, I'll play you. And I beat him for the money.
Oh, shout out to Clayton, man.
But he plays all day. He plays all day.
Yeah.
On the board, I play all day on the app.
On the app, yeah.
But then when I play on the board, it's a bit different. But
yeah.
I'm still way too much, man. Yeah.
I do want to say as well, because obviously he was on you and he was hopeful. Do you think there's no coming back for Andrew in boxing, would you say? Everyone wants to ask this question.
Well, it's funny because Andrew and myself, we could come back and we'd be... we're talking about Andrew. He could be much better than most of the fighters would ever dream to be. Because there's loads of professional fighters who are never going to go anywhere. But they're still fighters, so he could come back in that retrospect. But he'll never be as good as he could have been. No chance. He couldn't be as good as he could have been because age, again, is a factor, and some of the stuff he's been doing outside of the ring. But of course he can come back and he'd make most of the fighters look terrible. Make them look easy. But at that highest level, the elite level, I don't think he'd be able to get away with it because of his age and the things he's done.
Yeah. It's just mad and easy.
But like the same as me, I could come back now and box like the British level fighters, make them look stand on one of their heads, make them look stupid. But then at the top class, the elite, I couldn't do that. No. And after boxing for so long and being at the top of the sport, I don't want to come second best to people who I would have beat years ago. And that's why I packed it after the last one.
What do they say? A good state, they know when it's someone knows when it's time to leave. Like, yeah. I'm looking like an idiot now. There's a good performer. A good performer knows when it's time to leave. Yeah. Is that what it is? It is, isn't it? Yeah. Like, you don't stay around them fucking... No. You look at like James Milner now, who's looking stupid in football. He's looking tired. He's class. I'm a Liverpool fan.
But a lot of fighters do go on too long. And I think that's where you pick up damage and it's just no good. And it's mainly like financial reasons.
Well, this is something I want to talk about to you. It's YouTubers, boxing.
Yeah.
Yeah, this has been like a massive thing right now. We've had Liam Williams, Cordina on, they've had their pennies worth in about it. What's your take on it?
So my take on it, I don't care do what they want to do, but there's two sides of it. It's good for boxing because they're bringing like a crossover audience of like fans, like all them YouTuber people who follow them. They wouldn't be following boxing, but they are now because of them. But again, it downgrades us professional fighters. Like we've been boxing all through the amateurs, turn professional, dedicate our lives to it, earning no money early on, where they're coming in first fighting and earning millions. So it's good and it's bad.
Would you ever come in if one of them?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Easy money. Isn't it?
Is there any of them you've looked at who thought, do you know what, they look quite tidy?
I don't watch them.
No? Okay, fair enough. Just try and get Andrew a final fight with someone, innit?
Oh, you're better.
Yeah, I know we would, I know. So retirement, obviously you're training people now.
Yeah.
How's it going? You got many people you're training?
So I've just applied for my British Boxing Board of Control professional license, and me and Clayton, we're going to go in for our amateur one as well. I think it might be next week actually, a week or two. And I'm in the gym all the time, just busy, just working, training people, and trying to pass on that knowledge.
Where's your gym base? Is it?
I haven't got a gym myself at the moment, so I'm working out of the XXL gym in Barry. So the owner of the gym, he used to train me on my strength and conditioning. So now I'm doing
That's nice.
doing the 1-to-1s, isn't it?
Back where you belong, like, you know?
Yeah.
I see you on your social media, you got a couple of horses.
Yes.
Yeah, you fan of your horses, yeah?
But it's funny, about, I'd say like 2-3 years ago, I was scared of horses. Well, not scared of them. I had to go out with the dogs if there's horses in the field and jump straight back over the fence.
What made
and I ended up with 2.
Yeah, what made you get him?
So my daughter, she was having like pony riding lessons, and of course she wanted the pony then. I tried to loan a couple and they just fell through, so I thought I'd buy one. I bought a pony, and just handling her all the time, I sort of got fond of it. And while she was riding and having lessons, I had 2 lessons as well. And then me being me, I went and bought a horse. A horse came up for sale in the stable next to me. I bought that. Sam the Man.
What's it called?
Sam the Man.
Have you said Sam the Man then? Sick. Yeah, I think we need to like end it as well, like on some like on a lesson, and it's about what it takes to be a professional, you know, and people can use this in any walk of life, but you are an example of a professional boxer at the highest heights. I remember the one thing everyone used to say was if you had Andrew Selby's skills and Lee Selby's
dedication.
discipline and dedication, you'd have
the best fighter in the world.
The best fighter in the world. You know, is there any advice you'd like to give to the people out there of, you know,
what it takes to become a professional fighter? To become a professional fighter is pretty easy, but to be a good professional fighter, you have to dedicate your life and make the sacrifices, all sacrifices needed. But the main thing is just dedicate yourself. Dedication.
Nice.
Like it's a funny saying. It just says messing around to people, like Jamie Cox we were speaking to earlier, like only like on the chest, but it's the same thing with the boxing. I says when you're training, I'm training. When you're sleeping, I'm still training. And that's how you got to be. You got to work overtime to be the best. You got to work overtime.
Nice. I like that. Future plans. What you got in the pipeline there?
So I have a meeting with my manager soon. He runs a boxing based charity, Empire Fighting Chance, and they're sort of like national. And I'm hoping to run a gym through the charity in Barry. I've seen what they do. I'm an ambassador for the charity, and it's big. And I've seen what they do in the schools in Bristol, and in the community, and like they're changing lives
in Bristol.
In Bristol,
and you want to bring that here?
And if I can bring it here, it'd be great. If I can reach the kids in Barry.
You think
in the schools? Yeah.
Think there's a potential?
Yeah,
Andrew
definitely.
and Lee Selby.
Yeah, hopefully. And it's not so much just the boxing, but they use the boxing. So like you been to Bristol, some of the areas are really bad, and they use the boxing to get in through to the kids.
Yeah, there's a voice to get them in to teach them
and then they start
everything
teach
else.
them. Yeah. So you imagine you've got like some like in the part of Bristol, it's like mainly black kids. So you've got some like posh white teacher going there trying to tell them what to do. But then you've got a professional boxer, former world champion come in. They look up to you. Oh, he's a fighter. He's tough, and they want to speak to you and you want to interact with you. So you use that just to get into the kids, and then teach them through that. And if I can do the same sort of thing by here, it'd be great.
I think you'd be
Like I'd love to give back to boxing because it's give me
you so much.
Yeah.
I think you'd be the perfect candidate for that, mate. Honestly.
Thank you.
Oh, mate, honestly, thank you so much for coming.
thank you.
This one thing we do with everyone normally is we give you a couple of what you rather questions. Your brother was a nightmare, and Clayton was on this, but the first one is
quick fire ones. Let's go.
yeah. Well, are you a flat earther or a round earther?
It's round. Round.
You sure?
Yeah.
This is just something you've always thought, or
Something
you've
I
looked
know.
into it?
I don't know. So it's funny. I mentioned Jamie Cox again. So he I had a debate with him recently, and he was saying, so if you had a model of an Earth, like and put the water on it as if it's the sea, it's going to drop off the bottom.
Yeah, it would.
But that's gravity pulling it down to the floor.
We don't know.
Which
about
which you don't know about. But yeah, it's round. It's round. Why? What? You're not a flat earther, are you?
I'm none of them.
Skeptical,
I don't know.
No,
I don't know.
you don't know.
I'm not going to believe what they've told me though.
No. Okay.
You mild or spice?
Huh?
Mild or a spice?
Spice.
If you could explore one of these, deep sea or deep space? No?
I'd hate to be underwater.
If you had to
I
choose
don't like
one.
heights either. If I had to choose one, what's safer? None of them. None of them are safe, are they?
And if you could have two superpowers, one for yourself, one for humanity, what would they be?
Superpowers. Maybe invisible.
I
Maybe.
think that's what your brother said.
Is it?
He said fly or invisible, one of them, yeah.
And
To help humanity. Save world hunger.
yeah, how?
The
How
kids
you
in
gonna-
Barry.
How are you going to do that?
I don't know, it's a
What
superpower.
sort of superpower is
I
that?
don't know, just that's your superpower, like, innit? To just go and change it. You're thinking too deep
Pass,
now.
I don't know.
Do you think Joe Cordina will be world champion again?
Hopefully. Really hope so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Two-time world champion. Right?
You don't want it. You don't want it.
No, two-time. Not two weight.
Do you know what? I just
Two-time world
thought then. Yeah. You was 2-weight. You wanted to be 2-weight, not 2-time.
Yeah.
Is it anyone else who's being 2-time?
Yeah. No two-weight.
Oh, right.
Kanzaki.
Oh yeah.
There's been a few.
Yeah.
And like I know Joe well. We sparred loads of rounds together. We were in the same gym. He was on the GB team with my brother as well. So yeah, lovely.
Lee, thank you so much, man. I
Thank
really
you.
appreciate you. We finally got you here.
Finally,
man.
no
Yeah,
problem.
Thank you. I hope
Thank
you
you.
enjoyed this one, guys. Leave a comment. Make sure you hit the like button. Go follow Lee on social media. See you all soon. Stay central.
The Central Club.